Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. Welcome to those of you who are new. This is the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel review for the May 2nd, 2012 edition of NXT. Out comes William Regal and Matt Striker. That seems to be the wonder here. Also out comes Johnny Curtis. Curtis coming out with Maxine, basically endorsing their run. Maxine still wants to be removed um, from the process of everything, and JTG and Johnny Curtis seem to have formed an uneasy alliance, which really doesn't make a whole abundance of sense. Basically, almost like a bodyguard type situation. Injury to Johnny Curtis is suspected. Also, the suspicion is that in fact it is none other than Percy Watson that's causing the injuries. There's no proof of this, but that is the inference trying to turn him heel, one would assume. That's been going on for a couple of weeks now. Then we've got a tag team match, JTG and Johnny Curtis with their new alliance. Alex Riley and Tyson Kidd are their opponents for the day. Match is basic enough. Alex Riley seemed to be picking up steam over the last couple of months and then took a couple weeks off, which I don't really quite understand. Maxine on the outside endorsing her once again boyfriend Johnny Curtis. Curtis and Tyson Kidd did interact last week. Lots of back and forth and arounds here. Um, Alex Riley finally comes back in and takes over on JTG, who had come in midpoint in the match, and for the most part, things are going in a positive direction there. Maxine trying to cause as much dissension against or for the babyface team as she possibly can. Shove offs and ultimately a drop kick to the top of the head by JTG or to the back of the neck and into the head. JTG on adversary here ultimately doesn't get everything wanted out of the process, but again, a inverted neck breaker by Alex Riley. Riley manages to get things going and ultimately comes back up. Gets taken back down to the mat with some regularity as it relates to kind of, inverted uh, chin locks and the like. Nothing necessarily worth writing about. Back elbows there, and ultimately, we kind of see that going according to some semblance of plan. Irish whip and a uh, shoulder tackle there. And again, there we go with the attempted monkey flip and into a facebuster by JTG. JTG takes over for a bit, doesn't get everything he wants on that, manages to get a little bit of an advantage, but not nearly to the level that he thinks he should. Attempted superplex does not lead where they wanted to go, but manages to get things going back in the attempts for the baby faces. The heels take over a little bit, but finally, after chaos with two people spilling to the outside of the ring, attempted springboard by Tyson Kidd. Kidd manages to get rolled through, and then comes up with a counter into the sharpshooter and a win there. Confrontation between um, Michael McGillicuddy and Percy Watson. The inference that Watson's causing injuries, including the one to McGillicuddy that had been done a few weeks ago, is there, and Watson still claiming his innocence. Highlights from Raw dominate the next little while of this particular program. Does not need to be that way, but it is. And then we see kind of a flirtation between Alicia Fox and JTG. She says she can give him a makeover, make him a champion. He is skeptical of this reality. Also, more injuries, this time injury to Alex Riley, and Bateman manages Bateman and Caitlin, no pun intended there, managed to kind of get that going. Percy Watson and Michael McGillicuddy, both kind of heels, although Watson has not completed his complete heel turn yet, are your main event for this program. Struggling to keep the program going is what it seems they're having difficulty doing. Lots of back chin locks and the like by McGillicuddy, slowing the match down. Fans are still behind Percy Watson, although they're seeming to become more and more skeptical of him as time goes by. Irish whips and tip ups and basically missed opportunities, for lack of a better term. Then we see more attempted pinfalls. Doesn't get what he wants on that. Anyway, McGillicuddy manages to get a modified pinfall there again, and clothesline out of the corner by McGillicuddy, and ultimately keeps things going in a proper direction. McGillicuddy gets caught with a few firebacks by Percy Watson. Watson manages to show some good fire and almost some heelish tendencies as the referee has to back him off a little bit more than would be average here. Clotheslines by Watson, who manages to keep things going in his general desired direction there. The cupping neckbreaker by McGillicuddy, who manages to get a victory off of that, will close us out for this particular edition. And we close the program on that note. We'll be back with more right after this.